Got up this morning, things weren't working right. I said I wanna make a change. I said I wanna fight. Obama walked up and said, yes, we can. I said I wanna ride your nuts, cause I think you're the man. Now I'm dick riding Obama, Obama. Now I'm dick riding Obama, Obama. Now I'm dick riding Obama, Obama. Now I'm dick riding. Dick riding for tomorrow, dick riding for today, dick riding for the straight, dick riding for the gay, dick riding for America, dick riding for rock. It's okay to ride that dick, just as long as it's Barack's, and now we're dick riding.
Oh, we lost Trey. I can't hear you, Dag. Good way to start the show, everybody. I guess I get to carry this for a few seconds here. How's everybody doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How's that?
Oh, there we go. Sound perfect.
Oh, yeah. Actually, set the microphone.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
help plug it in, right?
All right. Fill it in for somebody. And who's filling in for the host? Apparently,
How are the chickens and goats doing this morning, Dag?
Oh, they're fine. They're fine. Some of them are getting fat.
Good.
Yep,
Process them
yep.
soon.
Yeah. I'm doing. We've got this batch I've been working through. I'm gonna do some more tomorrow. So it's an ordeal. I'm trying to not overwork myself or stress myself out too much. I don't work. Like, I'm not working this week. Like, don't even schedule me.
Hey, neither am I.
Yeah. What
that's what I wish I could do. Like that's a dream.
Or just
I finally quiet quitted Monday after the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it wasn't actually that quiet, but I did quit. But I was not there anymore. So
living off that coffee money now, huh?
Yeah.
Got some dark roast right here.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I'm doing Boogaloo today.
Got the approval from the wife on this coffee too. She likes it, so
nice.
Yeah, that's good. Shouldn't be particular.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Trey? What are we talking about?
Yeah. So let's see. Let's talk about the thing that Steven posted here. So
we just getting started off this morning.
Since we love cops, if you really love cops, you'll definitely love this chick. Where's the actual picture? Oh man, they don't have the. Oh, here she is. Is this her? I think this is her.
Is that her?
Yep, that's her. This is the dude. Well, yeah.
He looks traumatized.
Oh yeah. Oh, this story. I thought you were talking about the other one. Yeah, this one's pretty interesting. Yeah, he is definitely traumatized after this one. This is what people pay like big money for in New York City, I think, though. I don't understand why this is such a big deal then.
Look, see, she was using it for her OnlyFans content. Like she could pretend she was like holding him up at gunpoint and everything. She was like, "You're under arrest." But she apparently stuffed her paintings.
So was he?
Mouth.
So this is for her OnlyFans. You're saying? Was he like in on
it?
No.
I'm joking.
Oh,
I don't know. No,
I'm sorry,
she just did it. She was just doing it just to mess with him, I think.
No,
okay.
I think she had a either that or she really liked him, but he was supposed to be like her he was under her like tutelage, I guess, like
supervision.
Yeah,
well, she was in charge, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so let's see. She made insulting comments about his piece.
In training day when he's like, I can't believe that you had a female training officer and the best story you could come up with for me was a goddamn DUI bust. You know, this is the kind of story he was hoping for. You know, something like this.
Yeah,
man, you got this. You got the Tennessee cop, and
yeah,
what's going on with women officers, man? Are they that bored?
Female teachers too. Like,
yeah, well, yeah, female teachers.
Well, I mean, I say like even like dude cops are usually like, you know, pretty fucked up one way or another. So when you have like female cops, you're just you're really just like, adding to it.
See, I guess the female cops, they're what they want to do is they want to like bang all of their, you know, their coworkers, but the male cops, they're like their messed up way of dealing with it is they beat their wives.
Yeah,
and shoot dogs.
Yeah, man, they're quote unquote.
I mean, that's the ATF. That's the ATF.
Dog cops
do it too, but
actually probably a lot more. There's just probably more police raids than ATF raids by volume. So if we're going by volume percentage, I can't make that argument. I don't know.
Yeah, but the ATF burned down churches with people.
Isn't that SWAT?
Oh yeah. Though? Oh yeah.
Like SWAT actually just.
Yeah, that probably would be a lot of SWAT. Now we have at least a lot of the stories that I hear of that really make news for like police shooting dogs, and it might just be because, you know, when it's a SWAT raid, it's like, okay, it's expected, whatever, right? But like, you know, it's like what, like there was a case here a few years ago where a cop shot a Jack Russell Terrier. You know what I mean? Because it was like, oh, it was vicious.
You know, lick them? I mean, Jack Russell Terriers are like the sweetest dogs ever.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's say they're hyper. But even so, my whole thing with that is like, if you're gonna fire off a fucking shot and some civilian's front porch, you know what I mean? Like, you better make damn sure you have a good case for like, you know, feared for my life kind of thing. And a Jack Russell just don't cut it. I don't care how vicious it is. You know,
you could tase it if you had to. Before you shot it.
Do they not carry a stick anymore?
I think like,
yeah.
I mean, like a pit bull. Like, I honestly, like I would be, you know, even I would be a little bit trigger happy if like a pit bull starts coming at me. Like,
you can make the argument a lot easier. You know what I mean? And of course, it's a scenario kind of thing too. Like, was the cop there because of the homo or the owner of the dog was there really fucking off, or was it like there's a situation not long ago where a cop was at the wrong house, just coming to like talk to somebody and killed the guy's dog? You know, and he wasn't at the right house, and the guy who he was going to talk to wasn't even like accused of a crime or some shit, you know. So it's like shit like that. It's like, okay, go fuck yourself, dude. You know, it's same thing with like you know, like Fourth Amendment kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you as a cop like violate like Fourth Amendment, whatever, but like you're right, and like you save someone's fucking life, or the murderer was there, you know what I mean? Like I don't really give a fuck.
Like you know breach and you save someone, like
like. But when you like violate like the Fourth Amendment and like come up where it's some bullshit, you know, just some other bureaucratic nonsense like fucking pot or something, you know what I mean? Go fuck yourself, you know. But if
or like even the one where they shot the guy,
what can I say? You know,
or even the one where they like shot the guy, like he was like in his like he just got up from bed or whatever, and they didn't even have a warrant or whatever. But they were like, well, they didn't even enter. Like they didn't even enter his home. Like, they just like shot him.
Shot through the wall. Is that the one? Where
No.
through the wall?
It's the one where they captured on his cameras. Like he like opens the door and he says, "Hey," and he puts his hands up and he still gets shot.
Yeah.
There's countless. Well, I'm gonna say countless. You probably aren't countable.
They threw a drone in there and everything. Like they're like trying to like Rainbow Six Siege it. Like,
have you seen the video going around?
Game, like trying to like.
Have you seen the video going around of the all the cops like banging down doors, and it's like, will you please repair my door? It's like
there's the Afro Man, song that he did.
Yeah, did we talk about that on the show? I actually read like an article about that.
Yeah, y'all may have. I don't know. Like
I don't remember seeing that. I mean, I just saw the video. Like I think it just came out a couple weeks back.
Yeah. Hold on, let's see.
Yeah, he's getting sued by like the cops for like defamation or whatever the libel or whatever it is for the song that he put out. But yeah, they came and they like raided his home, and I think it was like ended up being like unwarranted. It was off like an anonymous tip or something, and ended up being unwarranted. So yeah, they busted up his house, and he's like, "Why aren't you guys paying for my door?" Yeah, I made a music video about it. They're upset that he's using their likenesses in this video, but it's his own security camera footage.
Help me repair my door.
I mean,
did you find what you was looking looking for. Will you help me repair?
Like, dude, like it's just his own video footage of what happened. Why are you so what are you so upset about?
Yeah.
Actually, I like the like the tone of the song too. It's just like he's just like kind of clapping. He's just like, "Will you help me?"
Very Afro man.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, what else are you gonna do? Because there's no recourse. So, like, the city's
Like,
not gonna be like, "Hey, we're we're really sorry. We'll come by and fix everything for you. No charge. We're really sorry." Instead of doing that and being human beings about it, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna sue you because we broke into your house and fucked up, and now we're not gonna repair your stuff, and now we're gonna sue you for telling people about what we did."
There's
in a
a
very
part of
clever
it.
way.
There's a part of it where he tells about like what they were actually had the warrant for. So they did have a warrant, but apparently it was like they thought he was trafficking drugs and kidnapping, and he was like, "Well, like okay, like drugs maybe, okay, but like kidnapping, come on, like
Oh, this is all personal use."
Yeah.
There may be a lot, but come on. And,
I mean, at least he wasn't shoving his underwear in somebody's mouth. I mean, like, what are the cops?
They probably wanted to shove, his underwear in his mouth for him.
He didn't even have a verse about it in that song. It was a Colt 45. About what? Colt 45 and 2 zigzags.
Oh, that would
Maybe
be
that's all we need. About dirty sex stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently,
they were literally like some of the footage. They're literally going through his CDs. They're going through his coat pockets. Like they strip searched everything. He just has all that footage. He's like, do I have weed in my coat pockets?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you break into somebody's house, whether you're a cop or not, you should be able to use that footage for whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, it's your own footage of your own house of an event that happened. You know,
they even disabled his cameras. Like halfway, like he shows it. He's like, "Why are you disabling my camera?"
Well, didn't they realize halfway through that they were on camera? Wasn't that the one? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like there was another one like that, but like this one happened to. Like they saw that. Like, oh, well, here's a camera system, and then they unplug. And he's even talking about it.
Really supposed to do that? Like, aren't they supposed? I mean, I know
they're not supposed to break down your door either. I mean, come on, like if you're gonna go serve a warrant, don't serve it at 3 a.m. Break down the door. You knock on the door, you wait for them to come, and you try to act like a responsible adult and not be a total dick and destroy your house.
Great point. And on that, I don't remember what some other news story that I read, something unrelated, but they were talking about some people had a warrant for some people, so they waited until they left their home and then made a traffic stop. And I was like, are you saying that that's possible to do? You're saying that you can do it without taking fucking a dozen people, putting them all in like huge like risk of like life
at 3 a.m.
At 3 a.m. and send them into a fucking home and hope it's the right one and hope the person's there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they were to do that in my home, like my kids sleep upstairs, we sleep downstairs. I mean, like if they come in, if they were to do that at my house, like if I hear somebody coming in the house and screaming, I'm pulling out the 45 or the AR and I'm not stopping until I'm down or they're down.
Anybody can yell police, And that's the thing. So it's and there actually have been, I think a lot of it's been Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on this, but I think there have been a few cases where people have been found like in the right by like when they like defend their home from like a SWAT raid. But I think most of the time it's when it was the wrong address or for some reason incorrect. But I mean, yeah, dude.
But if they're serving it to your house
raids,
well, it's like
in plain clothes.
It's like this too. Like if they have a warrant for your. I mean, we are talking about Afro Man after all.
Yes. I hate everybody equally. There's no.
So, but they basically have no liability whenever, like, if they get a warrant and they're coming to your house to serve you that warrant, they have no recourse or liability for like anything that they do wrong. like because they're supposed to be in the right. Like, okay, well, we can knock down your door. We have a warrant. We can go in there. We can
kill your dog,
do whatever. Like, pillage your entire village.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that in the last show, like how they just leave your shit a mess. That's bullshit. Especially if you're fucking innocent, fix my fucking door.
Yeah. No. Well, when I'm my 18th
they should
birthday,
at least pay you. Like, even if they're gonna bust your door down, like pay. Okay, well, like how much was that door? Okay, well, we'll pay you. Pay.
So on my 18th birthday, I got pulled over by a cop. I had long hair. I was driving this beat up old station wagon, and the cop pulled me over for suspicion of drugs. At that point in time, I had never touched anything, not alcohol, not drugs, anything. I was a good Christian kid that went to church every day, never did any of that stuff. But the cop pulled me out through my head, through the window, had me handcuffed on the ground, searched my car without asking. And
having long hair back then was warrant enough, dude.
Yeah, it was. And then when I filed a report, they lost the report. So
classic.
Yeah, that was great. But and the cop even said to me, he's like, if this was at night, I'd take you out back and shoot you. I'm like, I'm 18, man. I'm pissing my pants. Like, I'm scared as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I had friends who were more like, the 80s who had long hair because of, they were metalheads. And a lot of shit out of the car, long hair, a lot of shit like that. Yeah. And then, my dad growing up in like the 70s, having long hair because he was like half a hippie. Lots of cops would fuck with them for having long hair back then too. He had like friends who got like beat half to death by cops just for looking like fucking hippies. And yeah,
as it should be.
But yeah, man, it was it's. I mean, that's half the movie. Easy Rider is about getting your ass beat for having long hair.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that was some shit that happened.
But like, sure. It's just like if you demand respect or you want respect as a cop, you got to treat people with respect.
Yeah.
But and then you look at like if I don't know if you saw somebody posted a video of the Uvalde cops not going in and then the Nashville cops going in and taking care of business, dealing with that stuff. And so they posted both videos, and it's like, you got to have respect for those cops, man. You got to say when they're good, when they're doing good things, you got to say it. You guys are doing great stuff. But when they're fucking around and breaking down doors and pulling people through car windows, I'm still bitter about that one. It's like,
should be.
Yeah, but so or giving bullshit tickets, even like here's a speeding ticket for 5 over. I want to search your car now because
on your way to work.
Yeah,
yeah. Speeding tickets like that's like one of my pet peeves. Is like we have like certain areas where I know they set the speeding limit to a certain, like, it's not out of safety. It's out of they want to get tickets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like this place, like this highway could be 55, but they literally make it 45 so that you have to go slow and easy. And that way, if you're going, most people drive at 55. Like everybody I see drives at 55.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I never risk it because I know that there's a cop.
Post up.
I know that there's a cop at the end, like sitting just like in the middle of the median there, and he's gonna be like wedged in between like the median, and he's just gonna hide himself and then jet out and like give you a ticket because I've had it happen.
There's a spot in the Detroit area where there's an overpass, and they have a cop at the top of the overpass with a radar gun, and they have like on both ramps they'll have like 6 cop cars on either side, and they'll just call them out, and they'll just boom, boom, boom. When I used to drive a van, and you'd see 25, 30 people pulled over in one spot.
Like there's a song, I think Core Blonde, but it's called.
Other people could pull that off, Justin, but not me. Okay, like I could never say that, and people like even remotely take me serious.
Yeah, no, you have to do the Bible on the dash version for you guys. You have the big thick fucking Bible on the dash. And then have you heard the word? Or whatever. When they pull you over, like, all right, buddy, have a nice day. And they're just gonna leave you alone. You just got to go super crazy Christian on them. and I think that tends to buy you some space.
I miss the first 4 months.
Can I pray for you today,
COVID.
officer?
Yeah, right. I missed the first 4 months of COVID because they wouldn't pull you over for any reason whatsoever, man. I was driving a van at the time. I was driving all over the state, and I'd be doing like 95 miles an hour, and I'd pass a cop, and they would just be like, "Hey, how's it going?" Because you're the only other person on the road. They didn't care.
I saw, as you mentioned COVID. I saw this, thought this was funny. There's a study that shows that people who think they're more attractive are less likely to wear masks. So we can thank Uggos for keeping this whole mask thing going. They're the ones.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I do too. I want people to miss this beautiful face.
Trey, send me that article. I got to show that to my wife. It's hilarious.
Which one?
The one you just posted. The one up there. That's funny.
Oh, that's Dag.
That's Dag. Yeah, I got you. I'll send it to you.
Dag, you send it to me.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's always funny though. It is true though, because there's nobody that I see that is like a good looking person who's sitting there like trying to cover themselves up with a mask. Like it's always like the 5 or below.
I saw it's funny because I'm doing a lot of demos and stores for the coffee, and I'll see every 30th or 40th person will come in, they'll have a mask on, and it's just you just look at them, you're like, what the fuck, man? Like
this charade's still going on.
Yeah, it's like you're that scared of everything. You're still wearing a mask, really. It's just insane.
Yeah, I saw something about almost all the countries are finally about to drop the whole pandemic thing because it's just not working. It's not working like they wanted it to. But they're trying to create more.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to create more. I mean, what the bird flu one? Now we're going to kill all the birds and take away all the medicine. So now you got the they tried it with what was it, monkeypox? But everybody that wasn't gay is like, yeah, no, not worried about it.
Yeah, that one ground to a halt there.
That one came right.
Well, especially whenever
pretty quick, man.
I mean, when you find out how it's transmitted, and then you find out that somebody transmitted it to kids, I think that killed it immediately. It's like the way this is transmitted, kids got it. Oh my God, let's not talk about it ever again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that's what did kill it. You're right. That's what killed the story is when they found out those kids had it from their so-called parents. Then the story just disappeared instantly. That might be a good follow-up for Justin on the one story he was doing about the kids that were adopted.
Oh. Yeah, I could just say I'm an albino.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Jeez.
So, what else we got? We going to talk about the big one? Are we far enough into the episode?
I think we are. So we obviously can't say certain things.
I knew Steven was waiting for this one.
Wait, so I can't say. See, how fast can I get this show kicked off the air? How many have I gotten kicked off, Justin?
See, we have to get Justin's show completely banned, and then he'll never be able to do it again.
And Jay, I did a show with Jay the other day that got taken down because we were talking SNL and played a clip of SNL skit, and it got pulled that day.
That's crazy.
So I think I'm batting at least 600 for how many shows I've gotten taken down by saying stuff.
Shit.
Oh, but so.
Oh yeah, Justin the dogs too. That's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot they actually found it in dogs. Well, I mean, it's kind of expected. This is 2023. Have you guys seen the kind of trend? It is a trend that there are some women there are.
Are we talking about pup play?
Well, I mean,
literal,
not literal, not.
And and this is where my libertarian side comes out, man. The dog can't consent, so I'm sorry, man, it's wrong. They might go along with it, but they can't consent.
I mean, they can't help it that they love peanut butter that much. I mean, it's really putting them in like an undue situation.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's go to the other story. We're gonna get in trouble.
Okay, so
why is Justin commenting and not on
Oh
the
no,
show?
we're not talking about this. Sorry. Whoops. It's the masks. I just think the masks were so funny, like the leather.
Yeah, the leather
mask.
like snout. And it...
Yeah. Did you see there was a video going around on Twitter the other day about a couple guys just walking the streets of, I think it was New York or LA, with the masks on. Just
the craftsmanship of the masks, I think, is good. I hate that it's like for this. And then also on the masks, I think they are terrifying, or could be like terrifying. Like you can use those. Let's put away the pup play thing and just use that mask in like a horror movie. It'd be a good mask, right? Like it could be scary.
Well, see, being a dad, it's weird for me because like when I see that, it's
gerbil consent.
They got small brains. I don't know if you need their consent. They might be below the level of sentience to where I feel like I need their consent. It's like a fish. I could use a fish. I don't feel bad about that.
But like the mask that they use, being a dad and my son like would like to watch Paw Patrol or whatever, and then like the formation of that mask looks just like the dogs in the show. So it's like,
Paw Patrol has a whole new meaning now, doesn't it?
No more Paw Patrol. Hey, what about Doc McStuffins? That really has a new meaning now.
Oh my god.
Stuffing something in.
Stuffing something. I can't believe I even know that show exists.
So is that what the cop is called? That one cop?
That's what they should call it.
Cop McStuffins?
Cop McStuffins.
Oh my god.
So the event. Here was my question about it. Was I noticed that like it seemed like there was like video footage like immediately of this one compared to a lot of the other ones. Is that accurate? Or don't they usually like drag out the release of the video footage? Was there a reason for that?
No, I think the cops pushed it out right away because of the way the case was. I mean, it's clear that
pussy ass Uvalde cops. Let everyone know.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, yeah, it was twofold. It showed that the Nashville cops are badass because they are, and they actually do their job. But I think it also they pushed it out because they wanted the narrative to be the actual story and not what the press was trying to make it immediately.
Because of the special situation of the shooter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
The transmission, yes.
So maybe this was the whole thing that those news outlets were apparently upset about. But like, I wasn't sure at first the individual, the perpetrator, where they were biologically, because what I had heard it was like, woman. So I assumed it was a dude, transitioning to a chick, but it wasn't. It was the other way around, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It was which is weirder. Which is like that's the weirder version. Like if it was
I was a little more surprised.
Not if you're on hormones and the hormones are messing with your system.
Well, not if you're trying to be a badass. Like if you're trying to be,
and then you're mad because of the law that was just passed in Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I guess since
was it passed or is it being passed? Jay should know that.
I think it's I think it's supposed to be signed. Like it's passed.
I thought they passed it. Yeah, I thought they passed it.
The governor just has to sign it. I think that's all.
What is it? It's banning hormone therapy or something
for kids. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
if they're under 18, they can't consent to the surgery or the hormones.
So I did see one thing talking about one of the kids that was shot was a pastor's kid, and I think the pastor had a lot to do with the law.
You think they were seeking out particular?
It was targeted.
People?
Yes,
somebody
was targeted. Well, it was targeted at the school to go to because the Christians in the state got the law passed. It was passed because it was forced by the people of the state, not by the legislature. I mean, legislatures are a bunch of pussies. They don't want to actually pass those laws.
Well, that and Matt Walsh has been, since their headquarters in Tennessee, he has been involved in trying to help some of that legislation get passed. Like I don't know what to what degree, but I know Matt Walsh has been like at some of the like discussions about it, like the meetings about it.
Yeah.
Like they did a couple, like, I don't know, I guess like rallies to try to get this legislation passed.
Well, one thing that I like sort of noticed about in the very extremely little bit of actually like, looked into this ordeal, but the fact you guys are telling me it was relatively targeted like that puts it as like being different from like the typical like school shooting too, because they tend to be like just whoever, right? Like at the school typically. And then I just hear about like the way like they went in, the way they were shooting at cops from the second story and stuff like that. It just seemed like they were, how do I say this the right way? Better at it than a typical school shooter. Like they maybe seemed like they had I don't know, man. They were just seem more militant about it, I guess.
Yeah.
But, and a little more hard. I'm not saying that's like a good thing, I guess, or whatever. I guess I'm not saying it's like a bad thing comparatively.
But it's some of the other ones didn't necessarily have the intent. I don't think. Like,
maybe it's easier to get a handle on it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it does seem like there's more of a direct. And I'm not saying you have to agree with the motive or anything, but it seems like maybe there's more of like a direct motive and a little more focused than a lot of these others. But I don't know, because then again, how do we even know what these others, what are ops, what are it's hard to know what to make of any of these events anyhow. But let's say from a surface level, it seems like this was
I think CIA or
yeah. Well, I mean, like even SH, like if you can catch the abbreviation there,
gotcha.
But SH, if you talk about that one, like there was a lot of reasonable questions around that one that people asked and they wanted real answers to, but like you can't, once they set up the like op, you can't ask any questions, like if especially if they set it up the correct way, because it's like, oh no, you can't question anything, you can't talk about anything, because they're even trying to do it with this one, even though we know all the details, we know what's going on, like we know what happened, we have video footage of the cops going in there and handling business, whatever. But like you cannot say like certain things about it because they're trying to like stop it.
We can't even talk about the one that happened in the desert.
Well, there were people who there was a before the incident, they had some kind of promotion to like, oh, we're gonna have a Trans Day of Rage, right, or something like that. So Trans Day of Rage or something like that. It's supposed to be at the Capitol.
Good optics.
well, and it's getting people banned, or it's like the tweets are getting deleted. Like they can't post that tweet of like, okay, here's what they were posting the day before or whatever, before this incident happened. Like you cannot post that image because like they're trying to like flag it. Like everybody's, I guess it's probably all the like trans activists.
Is it flagged on Twitter or just Facebook?
Twitter.
And really?
Well, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think it's because there are a lot of trans activists on Twitter, and so they're personally finding this image and then
flagging it. Okay.
Yeah.
God, who has the time for that crap? Like
the trans activists.
I'm sure there's people who get paid to do all this shit. There's so much money behind all this. Well,
I mean, they're ops on top of ops, right? Like,
yep, Justin, you're absolutely right. They're saying 2 assault rifles, which is bullshit because they're not automatic weapons, so therefore they're not assault rifles. So that pisses me off like crazy when I hear. That's where my inner boomer comes out when I hear people saying assault rifles. Right. I'm like, well, they're not automatic weapons, so shut the fuck up. But
you mean that's not what AR stands for?
Yeah, assault rifle. Yeah. But they keep saying that she had 2 assault rifles and then a pistol, but there's
one of them wasn't even chambered in a rifle round. Like it was a non-mil. Like so. Like,
but they haven't shown the actual weapons.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
There was I forget. There was.
Well, they showed a picture of her walking around with 1 weapon, but they were saying she had 2 and a pistol, and it was like they only showed in the video you see her walking with 1 rifle.
Yeah, I think what happened was that they shot a few rounds,
or just drop it, or
it was either in the car or like I can't remember how they didn't really explain it well of like how it happened. I think it was in the car though. I think they were gonna finish with that one and then go get the other one and
then run back and get it. That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, that's poor plan. Sorry. I'm not gonna finish that thought. But I did think like
this is an irrational person we're talking.
You keep hearing, well, obviously, they thought they were.
I think a lot of them are like that. There's extra guns in the car. Sorry, go ahead. No, I think that's a common theme.
Or maybe a getaway. Like so, like okay, leave one at the scene, and then I got one for getaway.
The one thing that you see all these school shootings. Every time there's a school shooting, they're saying, "Oh, lock the doors, lock the doors, lock the doors." Well, she shot through the doors. She shot the glass out of the doors.
Not only that, like when you see the cops clearing, like they're having to go. They're like, "Oh, this one's locked. Well, I gotta go down here." And like imagine if they could just like, okay, well, let's go through.
But this is the first one that has shown like that they're shooting through the windows now to get, or the glass to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it gets scary. But then you see people like posting like, "Oh, arm the teachers." Well, I'm sorry, I don't want these teachers armed. They're screwing our kids and telling them to cut something's off. So I don't want to be arming those teachers. Right? I mean, you guys seen Libs of TikTok. You've seen these teachers; they're insane.
Yeah.
You want to arm those? You want to put another trans activist in the school with a gun now?
So, like, there's a lot of ways to solve that problem that aren't necessarily like I think a lot of people get caught up on like one type of solution. Whenever I think you can do a lot of different ways, and like even. For one thing, we have two large schools. Like the schools, they try to make them too big. Like all the schools should be really local, really small, with with teachers from the area, preferably, right? Because that way, the parent, the teacher, they know you, and they're teaching your kids. I mean, it's all like honestly, the homeschool like community is not far off from what a teacher, like if you could have a teacher that was from your community and then being able to teach your kids, that would be ideal. Like if you had a decent teacher in your local community and they could teach your kids. But like the way we do it is we send them to like these big massive schools. We had to pack as many kids in here. That's why some of these kids like don't make it. They just get packed in there. They don't have anybody. They don't have any friends. They can't make any friends because like this is a huge school. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Well, okay, right, Wayne. I was just gonna say I'm more comfortable with my son taking the 380 to school than I am with some of these teachers in school having guns. I'd rather have my son have a gun, not his, a gun, with him than that. So.
Yep, and then he can defend everybody in the foldable safety pod here.
This thing's crazy.
But I was trying to find one that I'd seen on the news.
Justin,
where it, like,
Justin, you're gonna have to get on charge
wall.
of ops. Like Justin's in charge of the ops here.
Justin, we should do a show about like the last 6 or 8 of them and talk about all the do a friend or fed about the shootings that happen.
Like what? No,
like which one? Not friend or fed, but you know what I'm saying.
It'd be like random or fed.
Random or fed. Yeah, there you go. We should do that one, Justin. Which will be a Rumble.
The CIA. Oh, that's funny. If that's true, that's funny because like if a school like has good security, it's like, oh, I'm not going to the school with good security. But so that contradicts the story though, because they're saying that they went to this school, like this school specifically, like during their high school. That's what I thought, and unless they're changing the story now, because I thought it was like, oh, they got shunned, and then now they're pushing the story about like, oh, it was her parents that pushed her to do this, or him.
Well, her Her. Don't say him. Her.
Or him.
The mom wasn't. I saw an article saying that the mom was against the transition.
Yeah, that's why they're saying that she did this. Like,
well, then you shoot up your home, not a school. You don't target the kid of the pastor who got the law passed at that point, then, right?
Well, yeah, but you just got to help all those other kids whose parents don't love them either.
I hate when they do that.
What?
They gotta lock the news articles behind ads.
Yeah, hella gay.
What's going on with Jay? Where you at, Jay?
I don't know. Having internet troubles, buddy.
By the time you get on, the show's gonna be over.
I've got a.
He's like, I want to join. Like, send him the link, and then it's like you can't even join. Jay has trouble with his internet.
Yeah.
Do you guys like Cadbury eggs?
Oh God, no! They're disgusting.
I get where it's like it is like I want like one a year. Oh, it's Easter. I need my one Cadbury egg, and then I'm good for the year.
I hate marshmallows though, so that doesn't help.
But they
isn't it like creamy marshmallow?
No, there's like a white one that's kind of like a cream. There's a chocolate one that's got like a creamy chocolate in it, and there's a caramel one too. At least from any times I've eaten them, I'm sure they have all sorts of insane, stupid flavors now. Whatever pixie sticks or some shit, but yeah, this dude was stealing a tractor trailer full of them and got busted.
He stole Cadbury eggs.
200,000 Cadbury cream eggs.
Was that like 3 or 4 years ago? Man. It was before COVID, wasn't it?
This says no. This story was from February 2023.
There people have done that before though.
Yeah, I imagine it's especially a seasonal thing like that. You probably think that'd be something stealable,
Well, I mean, it only happens like I think don't they only make them for right around Easter?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think I sort of see them year round, but they could just be the old eggs. They probably just end up in the dollar store. It's probably where I see them, is like Dollar General.
Yeah,
for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, you love them, Justin.
Yeah. Wayne's right, but I tell my son that, and he's still a bully.
Well, it's like, okay, so my son dealt with a bully in 8th grade, and I was just like, just kick his ass, like, just beat the hell out of him. You just do it. He'll stop once you do that.
Well, and even if you don't win the fight, I think usually they go for people who don't fight. You know what I mean? If you're willing to fucking throw down, oftentimes they're gonna leave you the fuck alone, and that's kind of, I mean, that's kind of half of what any of that shit is. It's not even winning the fight; it's being willing to fucking fight.
Just push back, just a pushback,
yeah.
But my kid's just way too nice. He did not get that from me. He got that from his mom.
Some of us are sweet boys.
Yeah. And he is like the sweetest kid ever.
Well, see, my son is too, but like what he does is he like he thinks that everybody is as like wired as he is. So he goes up and he's like he's ready, he's jumping, and then if they just make him like it's funny because like if they do something to him, he acts like me. But if he otherwise he's like as sweet as can be. Like he's like how can I help you and all this kind of stuff, but as soon as somebody triggers him a little bit, like as soon as somebody tries to test his patience a little bit, he'll push them and he gets in trouble or something like that. So.
Oh, he's got that narrow aggressive streak like me, huh? Very thin. Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, I think he got a touch of the redhead temper, so.
Fiery.
Is he a ginger too, or
no? Yeah, he's blonde.
He just got the insecurity of being a ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah. His real dad's half Latin. So,
Oh my god!
Well, he should be a little bit darker if that's the case.
Does he reflect too much light?
Oh yes. He got my complexion. Thanks. Yeah.
Just be a toady, like Justin's theory here, like the guy on what is it? Christmas Story. Yeah. Yeah, Scott Park is a little toady. Yeah, get him, Scott.
They call it, like, Justin, they call it the Manchurian Candidate. See, they're gonna groom you for president. That's what they're gonna do next.
To one extent or another, I sort of have some life strategy that goes along with Justin there. If you become specifically useful to your boss, let's say you provide them with a product or service that they really need, and have a hard time finding, then you can do whatever you want at work. Yeah.
I did think that for a while, but it didn't work out.
Oh shit. I don't know. You gotta find something they really need.
Yeah.
Not sexual though, because then you can be replaced too easily.
Yeah.
There's a million whores out there.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
But like, you need to be able to do the job.
You can use the market. Yeah, you can use the market to deal with that. That's all. It doesn't have to be violence, but you got to go with what your skill is.
Yeah. My skill is mouthing off, so.
Oh, they don't like that one.
No. It doesn't go over good in your review when you tell somebody they're a shitty boss.
Yeah. Well, so and I've only seen this on TV, so I don't know if it happens in real life, but I've seen a few sitcoms where it happens. One, there's a King of the Hill where Dale became had this role. I think a Seinfeld, George as well, where you get the job of firing people, because the boss is a softie and can't fire people. So he just has you do the firings. I don't know if that. Well, I guess that's what human resources is, right?
Kind of, yeah. Human resources or middle managers, like it's never the CEO that's going to do it. It's either a middle manager or the HR is going to be like, sorry, we're letting you go.
They're just trained on how to do it nicely.
Yeah. No, not all of them.
No.
So some of them can get, the middle managers will get hot-headed. Like the HR people will, they're going to either be nice or they're going to just at least be like, well, sorry, like it's like we're sorry. Like, we're sorry.
I've never worked somewhere big enough to have like an HR department or anything.
It sucks. So I don't advise it. Don't recommend it.
Yeah, not sure. I worked for Walmart briefly, and they did have an HR person. I guess they interviewed me when I quit.
They had to find out why you quit.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's hard for me because I've been independent almost my entire life. And then when I go into a situation where I'm working for somebody, I don't play well with that.
Yeah.
Because 90% of my jobs have been like, as soon as you're done, you just go. You're done. And when you have to sit around and wait around for 2 or 3 hours after you're done working, because the clock, it just doesn't.
Well, so I had a discussion about this like on Twitter, like yesterday. That somebody was like, "Oh, I was like, if you get your work done, like there was I forget what it was. It was like the tweet was like they had a picture and it was talking about like if you finish your work, you only get more work, right? Like that's kind of the strat like that the employers do. And I was like, why can't, like, if you finished all your work for the day, like and you don't like they, instead of just giving you more work, why can't they just say like, hey, why don't you go home for the day, buddy? Or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be that way. But like there's some people who think like, no, you signed the contract, like, you need to be providing value. Like it's and I'm like, there's no in between. Like you can't.
In the world I was in before, we worked on a day rate, so we got paid so many for like 10-hour days or 8-hour day, depending on the person you were working for. But if you got done in 6, see you later. Or if it was a 4-hour day, it was a half day, you just charge for 4 hours. But if you got it done in 2,
I like that.
It was what it was.
I like piece work too, because you can if you get it done, get it done.
It just makes so much more sense to function that way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then also, if I'm having a day where I'm just not feeling, if I'm just feeling slow that day, it's like, you can get off my ass. I'm being paid by piecework too. You know what I mean? So it works on both sides of that too. It's like, they don't ride your ass about getting shit done as much typically.
I mean, it shouldn't be like, even with like I've had it where like in development stuff, it's like, oh, we need this done by X day, and it's like, okay, well, like that can be the expected day, right? Like that's when you can try to expect it. But like if we just can't get it done, if I'm having trouble with it, like that's just how it works. Like you gotta. It's like expecting somebody who to create a painting, and this like be like, okay, get this done in 2 days, and like if they're not done in 2 days, like what do? You're just gonna say like speed up, like you have to get it done today. Like, what? Like you're gonna make them rush the art? I mean that's like the, I guess, Disney way of doing it. Like you have to.
I mean, there are times where, like, when what we were doing, we were shooting car catalogs. We photographed the car catalogs for car companies, and these jobs are like 3 months long, and you're working 15 to 18-hour days most of the time.
Yeah.
And then you have a couple hours, then you have a couple days off, or you do like a slow day or a travel day or whatever like that. But it's mostly where you were traveling and working and shooting, but it works out to your advantage 30% of the time. And there are times where you bust your butt. It's like, oh, we have to get this shot done now. We're losing light. It has to be shot. So you do it. But when people are expecting, for you just to sit around and hang out and wait, and then complaining that you're not doing, well, you're just sitting there. It's like, yeah, because there's nothing to do.
It's like I got it done. So like, why am I like being punished for being?
I'm efficient. Let me go.
Yeah.
Let me
bureaucratic bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that everybody would be a lot better off if places were more on a schedule of like day rate schedule than an hourly or a salary schedule.
I think that stuff like that's coming around. I think that stuff like that's changing a bit. To use the term like gig economy, like, people are, a lot of just jobs and work is more like that now. And some of that is like, I think technology allowing it to be as such, that, I mean, just like my wife can work from home now. She doesn't have to, her computer controls her computer at work, and it's like, well, yeah. So she's saving an hour and a half of drive time, at least a day, gas, all this nonsense. And she can work, in her PJs, from home. So it's just great. So I think that a lot of things like that are going to sort of change, to that, because it does make sense. We could argue the technology aspect, that maybe just the way things was just the way things had to work back then. I also think it was just a lot of the way that industry and the workforce was kind of set up throughout like the the middle of the 20th century and on, to that sort of job, 40-hour week. You really had to, like my parents taught me, you keep your head down and you work hard, and that's how you get somewhere, and this and that. And like nowadays, it's like, no, dude, you do what the fuck you want to do, like, like you can just do whatever you want. And I don't know if that's just a thing now, or if it is a different mindset, but I do think that's going to come around a little bit more, I hope.
Well, at first I was pretty happy about when 2020 happened and everybody was working from home. At first I was pretty excited about the idea of that. Now that I'm looking more into the the 15-minute cities and the lockdowns and all that other stuff that's happening or coming. Hold on. so
homo what?
Now that I've now that I'm seeing more of that stuff, the 15-minute cities and all the other stuff, now that stuff more concerns me. People working from home,
I don't because
I do and I don't. Like I see how they could push it over.
So think about it this way. Working from home, like, okay, in a big city like New York, that then you get kind of that bug man, live in a pod kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. But also, if I can work here in Alabama for a company that's based out of New York, and me living in Alabama instead of living in New York and having to be there, it's a huge, like, it makes it where a lot of those people who live in the city, they go, well, wait a second, do I really have to live in a big city? Do I have to do this? Like, is there a reason? So I think there's that, but there's also, like you said, there is a way that they can kind of push it to like the Bugman status of like, okay, you're gonna live in your little pod and you're gonna work from home, and you're gonna wake up and work and then go to sleep, and yeah, and it does kind of feel like that sometimes, like if when you're working from home, like, oh well,
Yeah.
like I get up and I do my job and go to bed, and then I come back and I do my job and I go to bed. But I mean, that's what would I be doing if I was drive? Okay, well, I'm gonna drive to an office and then do the same thing that I do here.
No,
drive an hour.
I think it could be a good thing, but I also think that it could be used to push that 15-minute city idea.
Yeah, I think that what Steven's saying is especially in the cities, it sort of fits into the mold of the pod person thing. You know what I mean? Like that, that it definitely helps fit into that mold. But then for those of us who live out of the cities, there's a huge amount of benefit. But even in the city, like, it's cool. But it's just like, I just feel like it's getting so, like, especially like the 15-minute city idea, it's just getting so like science fiction-y, like pod people. I don't know how else to say it, but it's just like people are going to have no skills except their one task, their gig job. So again, as you just heard me talk about how much I love like the gig economy thing, this is where it just sort of does seem to breed this this sci-fi what's the dystopian kind of thing where you have your one little job and you have your TV and you have your little thing and your little food and your little Japanese city thing.
It's like the there was, oh man, there's a good channel where they do some like little skits like that, and it's sort of like the Bugman world or whatever, and they have like one of those kind of cities or whatever, and it's like, you must scan to get your contract for DoorDash or something like that, and like they scan, and then it's just like a pretend like scenario of like what it could be like. So like they scan to pick up the order from DoorDash, and then they have to go and they have to bring it to someone in like in a back alley, and then scan it, and like they find out that it's like but like bad materials, and it's actual meat instead of like the like bug meat or whatever. Yeah, it's like you have been downgraded, like because you lost the, like they got it stolen, they got their DoorDash thing stolen. It's just funny little skit.
I was talking to Wayne about this kind of thing. I'm looking at Justin's comment here with people leaving. We're talking about like automation and like that not every job can be like automated. I think that's very true. I think that what'll happen for like, because like let's say you do like construction or home repair, for instance, like Wayne might we're talking about that, and it's like a robot isn't going to go in and do a remodel. You know what I mean? That takes a lot of this and that. But where automation definitely comes in is when we start getting into like pod society, right? There's mass manufactured pods, that are made by robots and automation. And then you've got like the one dude who might repair them, but it's like 4 screws and you put the new component on and it'll probably be simple. Probably won't be a lot of skill involved. And then at that point, yes, the vast majority of the work is being done by like robots and like assembling these things. But I think that really sticks more closely to like the 15-minute future dystopia cities, for like the automation to really take over with everything, because I mean, what's a robot can't come out here and do what I do out here. So unless they make me obsolete by, bug farms.
Well, I think it was Cincinnati or Cleveland. One of them, their mayor is trying to get the city to go 15-minute cities. I'll look it up here real quick.
And like there's like from like an efficiency like standpoint, like there is something that it's always like interested me like about that I think it would be kind of neat to be able to come up with some sort of model where you could have a lot of people living in a place that was some sort of sufficient on itself. But like I don't want to fucking live there. Like there's part of me that's like the mechanical efficiency, SimCity part of my brain that like
Like oh well, it would be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
It'd be a lot of cool problems to try to solve, right? And like that seems fun, but God, what a fucking hellish place to live, like what an existence. It's one of the reasons I like being out here doing what I do. Is I can do 20 different things in a day. I get bored easily. When I work from home, okay, well I can go outside and work on something physical and fun for a few minutes, and come back in and then Get back on the computer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good part of it. Like, okay, well, like if especially for something like mental like mine, where I can like, okay, I need to step away and I need to think, like, because a lot of these are thinking problems. They're not necessarily like the more that I type doesn't make solve the problem better, right? Like,
Yeah,
because I have to know the answer to the problem that I'm trying to solve first before I type anything. Like that's the whole point of it. But so
well,
being able to
if
step
people
away.
have kids, being able to, you can keep half an eye on your kids, or spend like me and my wife. I was here cutting up chickens, and she was working on her computer. We're in like the same room, and it's like, oh, we're both working, but we're still sort of spending time together. Like, we have a movie on, and we're both working. So it's it is. I like that. I hate how much time people waste sitting in their car, getting to and from work when they could be spending it with their family, and a lot of that, it's not like the business thing. It's like, you as a person, like, figure out another way to make money where you don't have to do that so much, where you can spend more time with your family, because that shit's precious, dude. You don't get that back.
And most of my adult life with my kids and stuff, I've worked out of the house. We've done, I've been working out of the house. Now my wife does, and I was out. Now I'm back. But it's great. It's fun. It's cool that you can like stop and have lunch with your kids. That's always fun, or play with them, or go do something during the day, or take vacations off season. That's great. It just with what I see coming down with the push for that 15-minute city idea, that just worries me.
Yeah. They couldn't do the one without the other. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily one's a cause of the other, but yeah, they couldn't do the one without the other for sure.
Yeah. And then
they'll use it as an excuse to justify that. That's what you're getting at. Is like they're gonna say like, oh well, you already work in your pod anyway, so like why don't you just make it a little bit more retarded?
Yeah.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.